Hi everybody, welcome to Claire's Food Haven. It's Mum's Mondays and I'm delighted to be helping my mum Veronica make some of her delicious marmalade today.
Oh, thanks, Claire, and thanks for helping me. So to make the marmalade, we've got 2 kilograms of Seville oranges. These oranges are pretty rare. You only see them in the shops in January. So when we see them, we snap them up because when they're gone, they're gone. So we've got 2 kilograms of oranges and 2 lemons. And then we've got 4 kilograms of sugar. And then we'll need some water. It's 2.2 litres per kilogram, so we're going to need 4.4 litres of water. And that's all we need.
Fantastic.
Very simple. And a lot of manpower, woman power.
Yeah.
To cut up the oranges.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So these oranges have already been frozen and thawed because that makes the skins a lot softer to work with, because you're cutting up all these skins and you can imagine it gets a bit of a tough job if they're tough skins. So freezing them really helps that.
Great stuff.
Yeah, so they've been frozen and thawed, and I've just washed them before.
Lovely. Well, thank you for doing that.
Right, great. So we're ready to go.
Let's go.
So let's chop them in half.
Yep.
And then we squeeze them. So I'll carry on chopping.
Okay.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah. I'll use this for now.
Yeah.
And then we'll obviously be using this part as well, aren't we?
Yeah. Oh, that's what we're going to be chopping up. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So I've got another bowl. Let's put the skins in there when we dealt with them. Sure. And we keep the pips separately. And the pips go in this bowl.
Okay.
Because we're going to put the pips in a little bag at the end.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And what about the juice? Where do we put that?
Oh yeah. Put the juice in here for now. Please.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem.
Right. Is that squeezer okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'll use this.
We've got one just like this. It's great.
Oh, good.
Very useful.
Yeah, I'm used to this glass one.
Yeah.
Yeah. See how soft these skins are now.
Yeah. What a difference.
Yeah.
It makes when they've been frozen.
Yeah. Oh, lots of pips.
So how long have you been making marmalade for, Mum?
Oh,
when did you first make marmalade?
Probably when you were about 2 or 3.
Wow, that's a long time. I do remember over the years having some of your marmalade. It's absolutely delicious. So it's great to be making it.
Yeah. I don't make it every year because, for one thing, sometimes miss the oranges. I wonder if it might be better to dig the pips out before that we can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get a different bowl so that so that we're not leaning over each other.
Thank you. Great.
Yeah.
You've got some lemons in there as well. Will we be adding the lemons also?
Yes. It's 1 lemon per kilogram of oranges. So this is 2 kilograms of oranges. So it's 2 lemons.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have you ever used limes in your marmalade?
No, but I have had lime and lemon. You can have 3 fruit marmalade.
Yeah, I've tried that from the shop before. It was nice.
Lime, lemon, and grapefruit. If you do that lime, lemon, and grapefruit marmalade, or just lemon marmalade, you could do it at a time of year when you couldn't get
the oranges.
Yeah, when you couldn't get the Sevilles. Yeah. Another good thing about freezing the oranges as well is you can then make the marmalade when you're ready to do it. You don't have to do it in January.
That's good. Yeah.
Sometimes I make it with Auntie Yvonne. And I've got another couple of bags in the freezer.
Yeah.
And next time she comes to visit, we can make marmalade.
Oh, that'd be lovely.
Yeah, I'm excited to be doing it with you.
Oh, it's great. Thanks, Mum. I'm enjoying this. Do we use the pulp inside the skin as well for?
Yeah, don't worry about that. When we're chopping it up, it'll all go in together. That's why if we put it in a bowl, because quite a lot of juice will still be in there.
Yeah.
But we're not wasting it.
Lovely.
Because it'll all be going into the big pot. So you don't have to worry about being super careful about getting all the juice out.
Okay.
Really, this is about getting the pips separated. I'm going to do it like that.
So are the pips a part of the flavour for the marmalade then?
Not so much part of the flavour as they provide. Sorry, they provide the pectin.
Oh, the pectin. Okay.
The setting agent.
Ah,
Amazingly, if you boil them in the little, you make a little muslin bag.
yeah.
And after you've boiled them, you get like a jelly type gooey stuff in the muslin bag, and that's your pectin.
Amazing.
So you leave that to cool, and then.
So it's an important part of the marmalade.
Really important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick. Can you buy pectin as a separate ingredient if you need to?
You can buy it in a little jar. And so for some fruits, like strawberry jam, for instance, strawberries haven't got a lot of pectin, so you buy the separate pectin. And I think the pectin you buy is an apple product, I think, maybe from apple pips.
Okay.
Or apples themselves, I'm not sure. Maybe apple skins, I don't know.
Great stuff.
But yeah, you can buy the pectin.
Good.
But you don't need it because you're using the pips here.
That's fantastic.
And the lemons.
Brilliant.
One each.
Thank you.
These are unwaxed lemons. But I washed them anyway. Great. Good stuff. Right. Oh.
So shall I do this one first?
Yeah, our bowls of hippie bowls.
Lovely. Taking a little bit longer to come through this.
Yeah, no hurry. Lovely. Right, so this is the amount of pips we're left with, so we see how much muslin we want. So do you want to put the muslin into the bowl there? And then I'll put the pips in. We'll probably be dripping juice all the time.
We pop it right in the bowl?
Yeah. Oops.
Lovely.
And then we've got some butcher's twine there that should be okay for cooking. So we'll make a little parcel and tie it up.
Okay, lovely. There we go.
And then we'll trim that off to about there. Because if you leave too much on, it gets difficult to deal with the. Shall I trim it or?
It's up to you.
Okay. Okay, so we've got our lovely little muslin bag full of pips.
Lovely.
Yay.
Excellent.
And all this lovely juice. So now we have to just start chopping these up.
Okay, Mum.
Don't worry about chopping them too fine because we'll then put them through the food processor to make them even finer.
Okay.
Yeah, some people like really chunky marmalade, but some people prefer it finer. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, and yeah, when we've chopped it, we'll pop them back in that bowl.
Okay.
Right, let's go for it.
Okay.
Oh. if you do a lemon, you'll see the difference between the softness of this, you know, and the toughness of the lemon.
Try lemon now. Wow, just
Last two.
more.
Way, fantastic. We got there.
We did.
Yeah. How long do you think it took us, Claire?
I don't know, maybe just under an hour.
So I'm going to wash my hands, and then I'm going to put the jam jars over here because I'm going to put them through the dishwasher.
Brilliant.
To sterilise them. Right, I'll bring the food processor over now, because the next thing we're going to do is pop all these chopped ones through the food processor just to make them even finer.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So, I'll just see if this is working.
Okay.
Yep, that's good. Right, so we just want to put a few in. Maybe one more.
Okay.
With that and see how we get on. I think.
Yes.
Maybe a bit more.
A bit more.
I think that's a nicer
That looks lovely.
texture, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lovely. Right, we'll pop that in. This makes it a lot easier than the hand chopping.
Yeah. Much easier.
Yeah. A lot. Is that the lot?
Yep, that's a lot.
Great. Right. Lovely. Right.
Super.
Thanks. It's made light work of that. Now, could you pop that in the big pan, please, Claire?
Yep, sure.
Thanks.
Lovely.
Fantastic. Thank you. Right. So now it's time to measure out, and we're looking at 2.2 litres per kilogram. So we want 4.4 litres, don't we?
4.4 litres of
That's
water.
2 litre. Well, let's start with the juice.
Okay.
And then make it up to the...
So the 4.4 litres of liquid, that's to include the juice?
I think so, yeah. Oh, before we do this, let's have a little try of this juice. I'll just get a couple of teaspoons.
Sure. Okay. Oh, strong.
Oof.
Very bitter. That's the most bitter orange I've ever tasted.
You wouldn't want to have a glass full of that, would you?
No.
No. Oof.
Wow.
It's probably full of vitamin C. So, could you top that up?
Yep,
please.
sure.
Yeah, lovely.
Yep.
Lovely.
Good.
Great. Right, so that's us ready to...
Is this going on onto the stove?
Yeah.
Onto the... Right.
Yep.
Lovely. Okay, so we've got the muslin bag full of pips here, going straight into the pan.
Yep, that's it. And that will make the pectin for the set.
Lovely.
So this whole lot will boil for 2 hours now. And then when it's had the 2 hours, we'll take the muslin out and then we'll add the sugar and we'll give it another boil for another half hour or so. And hopefully it'll set at that point.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
Right.
Great.
So the marmalade has had 2 hours simmering gently with the muslin bag of pips in it. So it's time to take the pips out now and turn the marmalade down. Give it a stir. Now I'll take the bag of pips out. Whoops. Letting it drain. There we go. And now I've put it in a dish to cool. And when it's cooled, I'll be able to handle it. And then I'll squidge all the jelly-like pectin out of the pips and into the marmalade, because that's what makes the marmalade set. So I'm just leaving that to cool. And while that's cooling, now that I've turned it down, I'm going to add all the sugar. That's 4 kilograms of sugar. It's a lot of sugar, but the sugar is what preserves the marmalade. I just use granulated sugar. The recipe calls for preserving sugar, but I've never seen it in the shops around here, and I've never had any trouble using granulated sugar. We're going to be pretty near the top of the pan by the time all the sugar goes in. So after this, I'm going to be careful not to leave it unattended, because it's a super hot mixture, as you can see, and potentially pretty dangerous. That's all the sugar in, and in fact I'm not happy with the level of liquid in the pan, so I'm going to divide it between 2 pans now. Lovely, not ideal, but there we are. So I'll put both pans back on now for another gentle bubble, and then I'll add the pectin and we'll be in for the final boil up for 20 minutes to half an hour to get the set. So I've just washed my hands with a view to squeezing the pectin out of this little muslin bag. I'm not going to squeeze it straight over the pans because I've had to divide the marmalade into 2 big pans to keep it from the danger of overflowing. So I'm going to squeeze the pectin just into this bowl and then measure it out between the 2 pans so that hopefully I'll get an even distribution. So here we go. Right. Wash my hands again. So after that good squeeze, this is what I've ended up with. And I'm going to try to evenly distribute this between the 2 pans. So now I'll bring them both back up to the boil. A good boil this time, a rolling boil. That's why I didn't want too much in the pans. And I'll start testing it for setting point after 20 minutes. So the marmalade has had a good half hour at a rolling boil, and I'm going to test for setting point now. I've had these little plates in the freezer, so they're nice and cold. So it's taking a few drops from each pan. And we'll wait for them to cool. And then when they've cooled, I'll push them with my finger, and if we see wrinkles, then we've reached setting point. So I think we will have cooled now. So I'm going to push this little puddle of marmalade. Oh, and it's wrinkling slightly. Can you see the wrinkle? Did you see the wrinkle as my finger pushed? I think that one's reached setting point. Now I'll try the other one. I don't see any wrinkles there yet. So I think the little pan has reached setting point and the big pan hasn't. So I'm going to turn off the little pan now. And we'll give the big pan another 5 minutes. So this big pan of marmalade has had another 10 minutes of vigorous boiling, and I'm going to test it again for setting point. I've got another cold plate out of the freezer. A little drop on there, and we'll wait for it to cool. Waiting for it to cool on this super cool plate. I think we'll be cool now. So I'm going to try the push test, see if we can see a wrinkle. Oh yes. Good wrinkles there. We've got to setting point. So it's time to turn this big pan off. And now I'll wait for both pans to cool down a bit, and then we'll get the jars out of the dishwasher and fill the jars with marmalade. So the smaller of the two pans has had long enough cooling to let me put it into the jars. The jars are freshly out of the dishwasher, and they've each got a spoon in to dissipate some of the heat. So now I'm going to fill the jars with marmalade. Ah, wow. So the first little pan has given us 5 big jars and 2 little jars of marmalade. I've got another 5 jars here. That's not going to be enough. So I'm going to pop another batch of clean jars into the dishwasher and get them through so that I can bottle up the rest. And now I'm going to carry on filling. These jars have just come out of the dishwasher. Oh, spoons. Right. Lid's on. And we've got a little tasting jar here to start first. So these jars of marmalade should keep for at least a year in a cupboard. They don't need to be kept in the fridge or anything. Sometimes I've kept it for 2 years and it's still been good. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you for liking. And thank you, Claire, for your help with the chopping and preparing this morning.